there's a guy who has persevered. Number 33 in white. Clippers in the brand new uniforms. Got him just a couple of games ago. Wood in the corner, and Hodges loses it on the one hand. As you look at Paul Silas,
it's painful. They've won only 4 times, and that's one of the things that's killing this year. They'll turn it over in key situations. They look so good early, and now it's just ragtag. They're not doing a thing.
Paxson underhands it, floats in the air, but it is Carr with a rebound. Carr really working the boards. Kenny Carr strong on the boards as we have a whistle and a foul against San Diego. It is against Al Wood, his first, and that is now 5 on the San Diego Clippers, so everybody will be shooting 2.
Jack Ramsey really believes that the change of scenery will be good for Kenny Carr. I believe he was the 4th overall pick the year his class came out, and he's never really realized that potential. He isn't starting now, but they feel he can contribute coming off that bench, and quite frankly, they just feel that they need another Kermit Washington, and that's what Carr can give them.
He's the second leading rebounder in the ball club, 8-7 a game, averaging 11.4 points, and now with 6 in the ball game. Natt has 7, Paxson 6 for Portland. Walton leads the Clippers with 7. That's 49 seconds remaining in the quarter. It's 24-23. The Clippers have squandered a 12-point lead. Hodges just inside the 3-point line as the 24-second clock almost expired on him. Portland ball.
Portland really packing it in now, forcing the Clippers to shoot from the outside just to find them, and the strategy has paid off. They can take the lead for the first time tonight.
14 on the 24-second clock. Looking to get to Valentine. Valentine low post. Thompson against Whitehead. And the Portland Trailblazers have grabbed the lead for the first time at 25-24.
Here's a fight between Chambers and Carr. Tommy Nunez breaks it up.
We have no violation called, no foul called, just referee. And,
well, they did a good job stopping it. We'll watch the action at the other end. Fortunately now, Carr is matched up with Whitehead, and that'll let them both cool off. Neither one of them want to be bounced out of here. Neither one of them really want to throw a punch.
At 7 seconds, Wood takes the shot, doesn't go. Whitehead over the top. Whitehead going over the top on the rebound with 5 seconds to go will give Portland a shot at 2 here. If the Blazers and the Clippers are in the penalty situation, and it will be Kenny Carr at the free throw line. 67% at the free throw line is Kenny Carr. Two for 5 there tonight. That makes it 27-24. 4 seconds is Chambers. Have to pull it up pretty quick. Takes it all the way and gets it. Good hustle that time by Tom Chambers at the buzzer to close it to within 1 point. The Blazers, though, own it at 27-26, coming from 12 down to grab the first quarter lead. Don't go away. Schedule on ESPN continues. Monday night, December 27th, out west, Houston versus Pepperdine from the Firestone Fieldhouse in Malibu. Fred White and Dan Delwamini will have that one. The Houston Cougars, the Final Four team from last year, struggling a bit. Pepperdine Waves. Remember the name Orlando Phillips. He put on a show on ESPN last year. Pepperdine, good ball club against Houston. Monday night on ESPN. Finest college basketball schedule in the land.
It was 15-3 at the 7-minute, 55-second mark, and then from then on, Portland really took command. Outscored the Clippers 24-11. Now they have a 1-point lead as we start the second period.
Well, I think there was a little bit of emotion going into this one for some reason. Maybe it was Walton. I think the Clippers were caught up in it, and that has gone. And now we're just down to who's got the better ball club. Pat Lever into the ball game at guard for Portland as he deals to Thompson, a running hook. He gets 2, and Portland now owns a 29-26 lead.
Thompson has taken it to Walton twice now, and just gone right at the redhead and scored easily.
And for Thompson, as we have San Diego inbounding. Thompson now with 8 points. Whitehead, Brooks, and Randy Smith into the lineup at guard for San Diego.
And the Trailblazers are going with their second line backcourt. Pat Lever out of Oregon State, Jeff Judkins from Utah.
Tompkins and Walton really Thompson and Walton having a battle, and they get Thompson for traveling that time.
Well, take another look. I thought it was an excellent call by Wally Rooney. There's the extra step. So the Blazers turn it over, and the Clippers cut the lead down to 1.
San Diego retains possession of the basketball. 869 games for Randy Smith. Almost didn't make it. Signed as a free agent just before the first game of the season. Played last year with New York. The Knicks. Here's Walton looking for a cutter. Instead has Smith. Baseline. Back to Walton. Give and go. And Bill Walton brings it home. That is 9 for Walton to go with his 5 rebounds. 10:45 remaining in the first half. Blazers 29. Clippers 28. Been picking up the pace here. It'll go San Diego's way. The turnover. Guarded by Judkins. Judkins came into the pros of the Boston Celtics. Had his best year, his first year there. Randy Smith gets his first 2. Randy hitting 11-8 on the season for San Diego. The 11-year veteran.
Once again, Portland gambling. Instead of packing it in this time, they want a timeout. They tried to double up. And Smith burns them. Gives his ball club a 1-point lead.
Got a timeout, and it is San Diego on top, 30-29 as we start to go back and forth. I want to remind you this program is authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. In the huddle with Paul Silas and his ball club at home. I mentioned they've won 4 and lost 23. They are 3-1 at home. Talking about the Clippers is Jack Ramsey's club, which is something like 13-2 at home and 4-10 on the road. But the last time they won a home game was November 24th. I'm talking about the Clippers, so it's been a long dry spell at home.
The final, Los Angeles beat Houston 96-94. Milwaukee over Detroit 106-96.
Now Houston's record is the same as the Clippers, 4-23. Thompson working on Walton. Garbage rebound by Cooper, his first 2 points. Brooks had it and couldn't hang on to it. And Cooper was there to pick it up. 31-30. Blazers. Brooks, who was the second leading scorer a year ago, to Hodges, and that ball may have been deflected by Lever. Lever, very good defensive ball player out of Arizona State, a rookie, the 11th player picked in the draft. Into Thompson, working on Whitehead this time. Whistle. They got a traveling call on Thompson.
Lever's tough. He's seen about 17 minutes of action now. You mentioned Arizona State along with Byron Scott. Got a lot of good rookies coming in the league from the Pac-10. Lever here. Lester Connors with Golden State.
Lester trying to get on track up there. He came in late. Lever just made it, signing before the season started as Walton takes it to the hoop. And Bill Walton with 11 points here in the first half. And it's early in the second quarter. 32-31. The Clippers get it back. Judkins in the lane, in trouble, and he's called for walking. Checking in the lineup is Calvin Natt. Richard Anderson, a rookie from UC Santa Barbara, who was picked in the second round, into the lineup at forward for San Diego.
Pretty good shooter. Needs to build that body up, possibly get on those weights and do a little better job, but he's a good shooter from the outside.
Anderson, second round pick, as I indicated, has a high of 21 so far this season. Against Portland is Randy Smith, a patented long-range jumper. And he gets his 4th point. 34-31, so the Clippers up at the 3 again against the second line for the Portland Trailblazers. At least second line backcourt. Paxson and Valentine out of there. Carr, 5 seconds on the shot timer. Whistle blows. 3 seconds is the call against the Portland Trailblazers, and the Clippers have a chance to up it to 5 here. They had a 12-point lead against the Lakers the other night. They were down by 20 points and closed it to 0 and finally lost by 5. Whistle. 2-2. That would be Judkins on the foul. First team foul for Portland in the quarter, and Jack Ramsey has asked for a timeout as he feels that the San Diego Clippers are starting to reestablish some momentum. We will find out if they can keep that momentum when we return to the San Diego Sports Arena.
Giant-sized slice of Americana is coming your way on ESPN. It's the pageantry and tradition of the Rose Bowl, a football classic and the granddaddy of them all. Pac-10 kingpin UCLA battles Michigan. The Big Ten champion Wolverines will be looking to avenge an early season loss to the Bruins in this celebrated showdown. It's an ESPN college football special set for Tuesday, January 4th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Travel to Pasadena with your Total Sports Network and follow in the footsteps of the legendary Newt Rockby, Pop Warner, and the famed Four Horsemen of Notre Dame. It's the Rose Bowl on ESPN. We're writing another page of television sports history with a football first. Get set for this bigger-than-life classic. UCLA meets Michigan, Tuesday, January 4th. The Rose Bowl on ESPN, where the cheering never stops.
Coming your way Tuesday on ESPN, ice hockey, the Soviet All-Stars versus the Edmonton Oilers. The Soviet All-Star team is visiting North America for a 6-game international series with National Hockey League clubs. The series opens when the Soviets face off against the Oilers. ESPN will be there for complete live coverage beginning at 9 Eastern Time. That's Tuesday, December 28th. Right here, it's the San Diego Clippers and the Portland Trail Blazers. The Clippers on top 34-31. Pete Liebengood along with Irv Brown and a tired young lady right there. Perhaps has gone so far as to take in a doubleheader here today. A lot of folks attending the San Diego Chargers home game here as the Chargers continue to roll while the Clippers have their problems. Whitehead on a feed from Anderson. Whitehead scores. There are some who say that the Clippers have a less potent offense than the San Diego Chargers. Some folks. I wasn't one of them.
Excellent move by Natt. Well, I'll tell you, when he wants it, he goes to the hole as hard as anybody in the league. Natt with all that strength from those legs, Pete.
9 points for Natt, 10 short of his game average. Cooper in the rebound, the Blazers. Trying to cut it to one. It's Lever. He had to arc it over Walton and give Walton an intimidation credit right there. The big guy takes a blow, and his leg coming up as Smith works inside to Jerome Whitehead. And the foul is on Pete Verhoeven, who is in the ball game for Portland. Verhoeven, a second-year player from Fresno State. You're looking at him there, number 31. A fourth-round draft pick, not a talented ball player, one of those overachievers. And here's some news right here. Swen Nater getting in the game.
Well, I watched him before the ball game. He's very tender. He's coming in for Walton. He gets a big hand, but watching him run before the ball game, I just don't think Swen's ready to play yet.
Walton leaving the ball game with 11 points and 5 rebounds. Randy Smith from way out there, and Smith hits another. That's 6 for Randy Smith as he's starting to catch fire. It is 38-33. The lead is 5 for the Clippers. And hasn't Swen Nater been coming in for Bill Walton for a lifetime? Cooper takes him down low. Loose ball foul.
Pete, they've had so many requests for Jerome Whitehead. They're really afraid to do anything because of Nater's physical problems. They don't think Anderson can play against real mean, tough centers in the NBA, so they're not doing anything. And it all depends on how fast Nater comes along. They know they need a guard, and yet what do you do when you just don't know how it's going to work out with Swen?
Cooper goes right by Nater. Nater, this is only his 3rd game of the season. He had a broken kneecap, played only 21 games last year. And he has just 8 points all season. Natt off the glass on a nice feed, and it is 38-35 Clippers by 3.
Hey, watching Nater go up the floor, I mean, it is an effort. The guy is still in a great deal of pain. Haven't seen him jump yet as Jimmy Paxson gets ready to come back in for the Trailblazers.
Underneath, it is Terry Cummings who has re-entered the game. Good second effort on the second ball. He gets the hoop and is fouled.
Boy, he likes to play the game. He was something else for Ray Meyer at DePaul. Here's the horse. He'll rebound every night. I mentioned, reminds me a lot of Buck Williams because he likes to play the game. Can only play a limited time now because of that iron deficiency. Still the 7th leading scorer in the NBA.
That is his 5th point on this evening. Terry Cummings averaging 22.6. He passed out at a ball game December 15th at Salt Lake against Utah, and they determined it was iron deficiency. That's all they could determine. They put him on iron tablets, and he's limited to about 22 to 24 minutes of ball game, where he was playing 36. Here is Smith quickly down to Hodges. Nice pass into Cummings. Works the lane. Checked by Verhoeven, and we got a jump ball. Good work by Pete Verhoeven.
Pete did an excellent job. He played for a defensive wizard, Tiny Grant at Fresno. He shows some skills right there. There it is. He caps the ball. And unless you drop it intentionally, it is not a travel. It's just a jump. Mychal Thompson wants to come in. They say Lever blocked the shot.
Well, and Fat has a smile on his face because Fat Lever at 6'3" is going up against Terry Cummings, who comes in at 6'9", 220, and you betcha Terry Cummings wins it.
You know, Walton would tell you many times in college that the toughest guy he went against was his backup, Nater. Brogan is in the ballgame at the other guard for Paul Silas.
Nater from outside, way outside, and you can see there, as you indicated, Irv, he just barely can get off the ground.
He's in a lot of pain, and it's going to take a while for the big guy. They're trying to get him a few minutes, probably in the first half, to get used to it and everything, but he's just very tender.
Jim Brogan into the ball game now, guarding Fat Lever as Fat puts it up. Hit it short, the rebound to Nater. Brogan, second-year free agent from West Virginia Wesleyan. Here's Richard Anderson, and he gets it from 21 feet.
I'll tell you something. That guy can shoot it from the outside.
His first two of the ball game. Natt fakes on Cummings, goes to the hoop. Good move, but Nater is there like a brick for the rebound. Or a brick house, I should say. That is 3 rebounds for Nater since he has come in. So between he and Walton, they have 8. Cummings. An easy 2, and it's 10 points again. 45-35. Their biggest lead has been 12. The Clippers, that's right, the 4 and 23. Clippers leading Portland, which has won 8 of 9. Paxson, good follow. Rebound to the Clippers off Verhoeven. As you indicated earlier, as Jack Ramsey in his familiar posture, defense has been the problem for the San Diego Clippers. 118 a game.
Yeah, they really have had some problems, particularly defense in the shooting guard. But I just feel a guy like Walton changes all that as far as penetration. He'll discourage you quickly.
Swen Nater, the big guy with a long hook.
Hey, look at this.
His first
Clippers
two.
are back up by 12. It's nice to see Nater get one, because he really has had a rugged time.
10-year veteran, played with 6 teams, 3 in the NBA and 3 in the ABA. Valentine checks in with his first 2 points of the evening. Valentine averaging 14-6 on the season.
Well, here's the reason that they traded Ramsey for Cooper, feeling that Valentine and Fat Lever would give him excellent production at the point guard. Clipper turnover.
Well, that's certainly, on the surface anyway, as you watch, and a lot of folks thought that Portland had made a mistake, but here you got Cooper, who's playing a big role as a starter. Ramsey playing less and less for Dallas.
Well, but he can't beat out Brad Davis. It was a very good move for Portland.
Good feed by Carr as Mychal Thompson takes it to the hoop. Thompson with 10, Natt with 11, and Thompson with 10, the leading scorers for Portland.
Well, if you chiseled out a basketball player out of concrete, what you want him to look like, be like Cummings. Look at the body on that guy. Look at the arms and the legs. You just hope all his physical problems will be all right, because he is something. There's another turnover by the Clippers, and Paul Silas just grimaces. Man doesn't like to lose. He's been associated with winners all his life. It's just been very painful here.
I think he knows that he needs one now to get some momentum going.
You know, what's interesting, Pete, I felt when he had Lionel Hollins, that was a pretty good outfit. There's another travel call. Third time that Portland has traveled. Bill Walton comes in, Tommy Chambers comes in, and Paul Silas wants a timeout.
And you indicated, we should say, that Lionel Hollins acquired from Philadelphia in the offseason, expected to come back on January 1st from a knee injury. He will help the Clippers immensely. We'll be back in a moment. We've got 2:47 remaining in the first half of this missed the second half of our NBA doubleheader on ESPN, you joined us late and you missed a good one. As the Philadelphia 76ers won by 2 over San Antonio, 124-122. And we got a little bit of a surpriser. I guess it's a surpriser anytime San Diego is ahead of somebody. 47-39, the Clippers on top here. A team that has won only 4 times this year, and as I indicated, 8 of the last 66 to Walton. Tried to work it low post to Cummings. San Diego will retain the ball. Cummings and Walton, both with 5 rebounds. Cummings take it to the hoop. He's fouled by Mychal Thompson.
Look on Cummings is a true one. He likes to go to his left every time with the dribble. And thus far tonight, that's what he has done. He's so strong. That's a good front line. Cummings, Chambers, and Walton. You know, a lot of people think they need a small forward. But I tell you, it isn't too shabby the way it is. In fact, you take a look at the teams in the NBA. How many front lines would you rather have in this one?
Not too many. Hey, Michael Brooks coming in as the 6th man frontline player. Their second leading scorer a year ago.
That's why they really feel caught of Paul Silas. If they can get something going in January, they can get very tough on everybody. You know, they're in a tough division. Got some teams that can really get after it. Boy, they could really be a factor. This ball club could play 500 ball easily, get a little guard play, and believe they can win.
Oh, I agree with you, particularly when Hollins comes back. Walton knocks it away from Thompson. On the second, or call it the third try, Thompson prevails.
Yeah, but I tell you, the crowd liked it because Walton blocked one with one hand, then he blocked another one with 2 hands. But that'll show you what Portland will do. Portland will stay after it pretty good. All Jack Ramsey coach teams do that. Nice pass.
Thompson with 12 as the Blazers come back the other way. And this time Thompson loses it, but he says Randy Smith knocked it out. The officials say no. 1:48 remaining in the half. 48-41 Clippers. Chambers hit from behind by Kenny Carr.
Those two got into it early in this period. So Chambers will go to the line. That's 5 team fouls on the Blazers, none on the Clippers. 1:44 remaining in the half.
The Clippers will in effect have 1 to waste. Chambers, a 74% free throw shooter. Tonight he's 1 for 2 from the line. Good-looking kid.
Saw him play high school basketball in the state of Colorado. He led the state in scoring, and you knew he was going to be special. Utah won a recruiting war, and he was the #1 pick out of the WAC, along with Danny Brains, a teammate, Danny Ainge from BYU, and Tub Bradley from the University of Wyoming.
There's Danny Brains having a big role with that Seattle ball club right now. And Ainge beginning to find himself with the Boston Celtics. 49-41, 1:35 remaining in the half. Valentine, you'll see the door close on him offensively. Foul is on Hodges. So there is the foul to burn. Although we are in the last 2 minutes, so now anything else is a penalty shot. Paxson. Valentine gets it back. 3 of them. The whole front line was right there. Chambers,